Very good, friends. Wonderful. Namaste. And it's a long time. We were traveling and we just returned to Hyderabad. And it's nice to connect with all of you, friends. Today, let's understand the spiritual meaning, spiritual perspective of the coronavirus. And this 1 hour, I would like to speak about through the lens of perception of soul science, how we can understand this coronavirus and how to deal with this situation. And dear friends, and we are going through such interesting moments, very powerful moments. Each one of us are moved by something. Such a small thing like a virus, coronavirus, is really affecting every sphere of life. Never it has happened this way. There were many epidemics, pandemics happened before, but this is something very unique and different. So right now we have two questions, each one's mind. Number one is, what's happening here right now on this planet Earth? And what is the way forward? How to deal with it? What can we do? These are the two important questions, friends. And the soul science, spirituality, spiritual science offers beautiful understanding to us. Because we must try everything right now to prevent the spreading of this coronavirus. We have to take all the precautions, but at the same time, we can do something different also. Because soul science always says that we are pioneers of consciousness, we are masters who are living here on the planet Earth. Only thing is we have forgotten about who we are. If we think that we are only just physical beings or mental beings or just a personality being, then there is going to be tremendous fear. We're already panicked. It's just like a situation that happened in the history many times, like in the war. When there is a war, there is so much fear. Everyone fears, everyone is panicked, and they have so much of trauma they experience, they can't sleep well, their body is also reacting to the fearful emotions, and there's an imbalance that happens in the body. If we know and remember that we are all soul beings, even though we are going through the turbulent times, we may forget about this, but we need to remember that we are consciousness inhabiting these bodies. Inhabiting this body. It's a beautiful body that we have. And if we look at this situation from the soul's perspective, it will be viewed completely different. We really can learn from this current situation. And second point that I would like to say is we're all connected beings. Look at this situation. Somewhere everything started so small. Small virus. But small things are such big things, playing such a havoc in our lives. Such a small, tiny virus, a protein molecule, which affected one person first. It started, everything began so small and it grows so huge and big now. Almost every country, almost 200 countries were affected. And it's spreading like wildfire. And long back, there's something that happened to my computer. I think around 2011. So there is some virus that affected my computer. My laptop was shut down. All the data was almost like changed. The data is changed. I can't read the Word files or PowerPoints that I use in the workshops because everything like the language, the script is changed. So I thought the small virus, because I clicked something that came in email and that redirected me towards a website, and the virus entered into my computer. It affected my computer. I had to take an expert's help. They diagnosed it as Trojan virus, and very deadly, which can corrupt the registry files of the computer. So within a week's time, they could help me to fix it. I learned a beautiful lesson, how to prevent, how small things can affect big things also, big way. Right now, that's what is happening. Small coronavirus, it's shaking the whole world. We're going through like a global crisis. It's like crisis. It's affecting the health, emotions, it's affecting the finances, political leaders, all the leaders are shaken, and countries are going through turbulent times right now. The small coronavirus causing this. So this principle in soul science, that when things are very small, then we need to deal with it. Not when they grown into such big way. The prevention is better. And also look at this. Somewhere it started in China, they say that. Whatever is the reason, whether they ate bats or snakes or whatever, whatever way that coronavirus entered, and it started spreading. Not only China, it spread throughout the globe. It crossed all the boundaries of each country. It affected everyone. And it is also telling us we are all connected. We share something together. And it's teaching us something very, very important lesson right now. Probably there is a lesson that we need to learn, a collective lesson for the humanity. That's why it's affecting collectively. We know I come from this background of past life regression, inner child work, family constellation. That's what is my passion, to understand the cause I totally understand about this principle of cause and effect. Without cause, there are no effects. And whatever is the cause right now, which created this pandemic, we need to also understand. Soul science talks about it, cause and effect phenomena. Somewhere there are lessons that need to be learned. We don't need to feel bad that we did not learn lesson, that's why we attracted this. And we know that from the historical times that there's so many epidemics happened. Before Christ, there were epidemics, smallpox first. It was recorded in the historical times, history books. And that time around 30,000 people died. First time the variola virus, which created the smallpox, many lost their lives. At that time it's not pandemic, it was more localized. And later, plague, another epidemic happened in 551 AD, which created, such havoc that time, and 50 million people lost their lives, and it spread to Greece, Egypt, Italy, and so many European countries were affected. And like that, there's so many times, there wars happened, there's so many epidemics happened, communicable diseases, and flu. Just in 2012, before that, these swine flu and mad cow's disease to bird flu, so many things happened. Epidemics keep happening. Right now, we need to look at this situation from a different perspective so that we can also initiate the learning process. We should not consider this as something like a big loss or catastrophe, or we need to take it as something very important for us, something which can change the humanity collectively. All of us, if we learn that lessons, because there must be a soul's agenda for collective humanity, collective consciousness, that we also are going through this situation. We need to learn the lesson. One thing very obvious, very clear to all of us is we are all, learning about compassion right now, sitting in our homes, following the media, newspapers, televisions, and our hearts are opening to all the countries, all the people, and we are learning to completely slow down. So far, we are running like in a rat race. We are like robots. We are not like Homo sapiens, we are like Robo sapiens. We behave that way. Right now, one lesson that showed up to all of us is making us experience silence, stillness, all the restlessness that we had before, running around, and all that we are now coming back and sitting quietly at homes. Is it not a very important lesson to slow down in our lives, to reflect, to meditate, to look into our own selves, to journey inwardly. It's a very powerful lesson. Compassion and also humility. It is teaching us about humility. The soul science talks about it, that we are all equal beings. The small coronavirus is making us bow down. It's bending our necks. It's crashing everything that we think very, very precious. So far we thought money is precious and many, many things are very, very precious. Now it's bringing us to that moment of realization that more precious than anything else is in you, the life force, more very precious. And it's teaching us about humility, how to be humble. Human race has become arrogant. Like we're trying to control the nature, destroying the nature, killing the animals. We're doing whatever that we want to do. We really created such kind of distraction so far. I think this is like a wake-up call. The soul science is telling us that now wake up. You can't continue in the old ways of living. It's really, we need to change our ways. It's a lesson to be more compassionate towards plants, plant kingdom, compassionate towards birds, reptiles, wild animals, pet animals, all the animals. So, dear friends, really we need to change our ways. And soul science is telling us about self-responsibility, collective responsibility. It's teaching us now you need to take responsibility. It's nothing to blame, nobody to be blamed. We don't need to right now blame anyone for this situation. Like I keep hearing in the media that America blaming China or countries blaming each other. Now it's the time to stop all the blame. We don't need to exclude anyone, any country, anybody. We have to take collective responsibility, and we can all build a new reality together. So soul science is teaching us about co-creating new reality. Know that we are all vibrational beings, energy beings, with a certain frequency, and we are vibrating. Right now, the fear vibration is taking us going to more unhealthy states. This principle in the spiritual science about law of resonance, law of attraction, like low vibrational thoughts create low vibrational frequencies. Denser emotions, heavy emotions like fear, sadness, and being panicked, all these create such dense vibrations. Right now we need to raise our frequencies. We don't need to fear. Instead, embrace that fear. Let the fear show us our strength. We all have strength, a collective strength when we are all together. Strength to create new reality. And at the same time, we need to follow all the things that are prescribed by the governments, the leaders. Like right now, the 21 days of, like lockdown situation in India. So we need to respect it. We need to follow it. I heard that many meditators, they think that, I'm a meditator. I can go out. Nothing will happen to me. It's arrogance. Virus does not know that you are a meditator. Some they say, I am holier, I am a holy person, nothing happens to me. Virus does not know that you are a holy person. We are all equals to the virus. Please respect. And it's an opportunity that's given to all of us to introspect, to look within, to meditate. If we know the skill of meditation, the art of meditation, really these 21 days is such beautiful days. We'll be knowing about ourselves more. So in Greece, there is a saying, know thyself as a God being, a divine being. We can really know that we are such sacred beings, and we know that we are all one when we practice meditation. So really let us all respect the government's decisions taken by governments. It is to help us, to face the situation, to stop the spread of this virus. And of course, being a spiritual person, practicing a spiritual discipline or meditation, it really helps us to raise our vibrations, and more we are in a higher vibrational state, and our immune system is going to be equipped well. And we really can deal with it more effectively. But we should not feel arrogant at this point of time. Oh, nothing happens to me, I'm strong. And you may be a carrier by going out, and you may spread to, you may be not affected, but virus may be inside your body. There's a study that's done, and even a person could be asymptomatic. There are many people with coronavirus who are asymptomatic. There are no symptoms shown up. There are no breathing problems, no fever, no pulmonary infection, no pneumonia, nothing. But still, that person can infect at least 6,000 people. So, at this point of time, let's respect. Let's take this as a golden opportunity that we have plenty of time, abundance of time, so much time for ourselves. So far, we always used to say that I don't have time, I don't have time. Now we have all the time in the world. From yesterday, I started meditating every day for 3 hours. Mostly I'm practicing not only the inner silence but also the external silence. I'm enjoying reading spiritual books. And right now I am reading this book, Jane Roberts, The Individual and the Nature of Mass Events. This is the book I'm reading by Jane Roberts. Highly recommend this book because it talks about epidemics from the spiritual perspective. Really an interesting book. Jane Roberts, who was a medium, who channeled this information long back, 1970s. How we co-create mass events, epidemics. That's what is, channeled by this entity, Oversoul, called Seth. It's a very interesting book if you want to read. And second, I'm reading this book also, Jane Roberts. This I have read before, but again I'm rereading this, The Way Towards Health. The hundreds of spiritual books that are easily available, and we can educate ourselves, spiritual education. We can read, nurture ourselves, know things with an open mind. And also practice a lot of meditation. 2-3 hours at a stretch, or give enough breaks and pause, and you can practice meditation. So dear friends, soul science is telling us that there is a reason for everything, and nothing by accident. It has not happened by accident. Everything, there is a reason. Right now, we don't need to really find out what is the reason, cause for this. Instead, our focus must be how to deal with it, how to stop the spread of this virus so that all the countries in the world can come together to stop this loss of many lives. Life is very, very precious. So, soul science is teaching us about how powerful you are. In deep silence, inner silence, we realize our own magnificence. We realize the power that exists in us to understand, to transform, to change. Right now, everyone is talking about. First few days, I heard from many people that, it's a lot of boredom. Sitting in the home is boring. So far, we were all eating food outside, in the hotels, restaurants, and all the time away from home. But soul science is always telling us, come back home, come back home. Your home is in you. Right now, even our physical home, the place where we feel comfortable and connected, safe, you can be just relaxed in your home. But when you go into meditation, it makes you really feel home in your body. We can meditate, reach to this cave inside. Your heart center is the cave. We can experience beautiful silence there. So far, we were so much in noise and crowds, and really we are more living in the outer world outer life. For the first time, we're getting this opportunity to really experience inner life. We have so much time to do that. And we can creatively, productively spend time. And soul science is also telling us that you're not alone in this universe. There are many divine forces, many masters, light beings who are watching us. They want us to now wake up, receive their help also. In deep meditation, we can always even have these spiritual experiences of connection. What is bigger than us, greater than us. Is it not true, friends? It's really true. It's really, really true. We are not alone. Our universe, our multiverse is such vast. There's so many higher beings who are helping us. We can always receive help from the spirit world. We can communicate with those beings of light. In deep meditation, when you are still and silent, you can hear the whispering of the universe, the angels speaking, our masters speaking to us. So, dear friends, the few things that I want to prescribe right now for all of us, all of you, because it can help you. I'm following it at home. And number one is this social distancing. Don't consider is a boring thing. It's not social distancing, it's only physical distancing, because still we are connected through the technology. I'm able to really connect with all of you through internet technology. And we're still connected through WhatsApp, Facebook, to all the other technologies. So we're connected. And we seek now more connection to our consciousness and collective consciousness. Now world has no boundaries and we're all together. We support, and it happens through meditation practice. This is the first thing that I recommend. Plenty of time we have. Meditate, meditate, meditate. 2-3 hours. Experiment with your own consciousness. Meditation is so easy and simple. Quietness. Experience the quietness of the mind by observing the breathing. And right now, the breathing problems people who are affected with coronavirus, majority of people are getting these breathing problems. It's also, in the symbolic language, it's telling us we are not taking the life fully into us, going away from life. Breath is life. Breathing is prana. Prana is entering into us. So meditate. More we meditate, more we access the cosmic energy, more we rise our own vibrations. And energy is freely accessible everywhere. We have inner resources. That energy will help us so much. to deal with this virus right now. So friends, second is hygiene. Almost every country, it's very strictly, followed like a rule. Hygiene, there's so many televisions, media speaking about hygiene. Is so important. The physical hygiene, washing the hands to everything, cleaning and masks, wearing masks. But I'm saying from the spiritual perspective, I want to prescribe spiritual hygiene. What is spiritual hygiene? You take care of physical hygiene, that's very important. Not only that, we also need to practice spiritual hygiene, psychic hygiene. How about your thoughts in your mind? We have certain viral thoughts, fear-based thoughts. We have certain kinds of emotions which are like virus, which are going to really destroy us from within. Our immune system's going to be depleted because of these viral thoughts or viral emotions. Psychic or spiritual hygiene is be mindful of what's going on in your head. When you read a newspaper, when you're watching a television, today the deaths reported are 15,000, 16,000 on the planet Earth, and research study says that now half of the population will go away. Somebody says something else. Everyone is saying that. They're speaking about the research work, but we don't need to be fearful. We have to have spiritual hygiene. Be mindful of your thoughts immediately. Become aware. The awareness itself will replace all those fear-based and fear-based emotions and fear-based thoughts into something very creative thoughts. Because thoughts create reality, right? We create new realities right now. We can create. This mental hygiene, emotional hygiene, psychic hygiene, spiritual hygiene is so important. A lot of mindfulness. I've been practicing now at home, a lot of mindfulness. Slowing down. I think after 20 years, a lot of traveling, and right now, being at home, I sleep 8 hours and also meditate 3 hours, 4 hours, and read spiritual books, and also watching movies, spiritual movies. There's so many spiritual movies. Star Wars, I was watching Star Wars, and also it's a spiritual concept, Star Wars, and also Star Trek, my favorite. All the episodes of Star Trek, and so some Korean-based serial about life after death and life after death communications, or spiritual kind of serial. So many things we can do. So, and also spending time with your family. I am spending more time with my family members. I never had this kind of time before. I am able to have a very deep conversations with my brother, mother, my wife, Lakshmi, and deep conversations. So we can be more mindful. Even I experimented with cooking, creative cooking, like a dosa, and I did different types of dosas I'm preparing, and experimented with hygiene. We can do a lot of things. Mindfulness. And the third thing that we can do, all of us can do, is stay connected. Stay connected with collective consciousness. Stay connected with higher beings, spiritual guides. Your guides are there. You can always consult them. Always take their help if you require. Of course, it's important to take help if you notice any kind of symptom and of coronavirus. We need to take medical help as well. Many think that they reject or refuse pharmaceutical companies or reject allopathic medicines, but you need to honor, respect. They're trying their best. They're researching a lot. They're trying to save lives. The thousands who are saved because the ventilators, they could give that medical support. It's important. We need to also practice gratitude, friends. Gratitude is another thing that I highly recommend. There are many things that we need to be grateful right now. The first, gratitude must go to all the doctors, medical fraternity. Really, they're serving. Really, if you look at some of these videos, many doctors are sleeping less. Hours and hours they're working so hard. Hardly they're sleeping. There are many of my classmates who are very actively helping, serving right now. So important to acknowledge our medical doctors, nurses, and we also must be have gratitude to all those world leaders, our leaders, governments like Modi ji, who are really taking such wonderful decisions under his leadership. Definitely in India, we can really prevent the coronavirus spreading. These 21 days of isolation is you are going into solitude. So gratitude to the governments, gratitude to all the spiritual masters who are really spreading positive vibrations, spiritual vibrations throughout the globe in their own ways. Some they're doing chanting, some doing the yagna, yaga, homas, some they're practicing meditation. Meditation itself will raise the vibrations. Vibrations are going to be spread. Just like a virus, how it is contagious, even our meditation practice is contagious, friends. Right now, let us make meditation viral. Really, it's so important. Our gratitude to all the spiritual masters for on the planet Earth. And also the gratitude to those astral beings, spiritual beings, who are watching us. They're waiting for us to wake up. We have to do it. We have to take the responsibility. So far, they have given the helping hand. They were always supporting us. Now the time has come. Now we have to be masters of our own life. We have to look at our planet. We have to take into consideration our entire planet. We have to go beyond our selfish motives. me, mine, and all that is collective consciousness right now. So gratitude practice is so important right now because that's the highest vibration. It can raise all the vibrations collectively. And the fourth thing that I recommend is the way we look at the coronavirus, the current situation. It can be changed. If we look at the coronavirus as the most dangerous and which is going to kill us, really, that perception of us create that kind of reality. Instead, let's change our perception towards it. Only though it is a negative, it has come to really affect us, but the way we look at things, if we change it, we can change our reality. Everyone thought in the epidemics that happened before, there are going to be millions of people who are going to die. But it never happened. We did not die. Many thought that 2012 everyone is going to vacate the body, and nothing happened. Even now, nothing is going to happen. Means if we take all the steps, measures, equip ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and at all levels, we are going to grow out of this situation. We are going to move to a next level of our collective evolution. So, dear friends, it's so important to change the way we look at things. Change our perception towards coronavirus. I heard that right now the pollution is less in the world because less motor vehicles, less pollution, and the sky is more clear than before. And I read the newspaper that dolphins, whales are swimming freely right now in the oceans. Otherwise, they are scared about the cruises, people not respecting their boundaries. And it also reported that in Tirumala, the 7 hills in South India. So in Tirumala hills, Lord Venkateshwara, the place, it was empty now, but there's cheetah and some of these wild animals freely roaming. They're spotted, they're freely roaming in the streets. So we can find that there's a different way of looking at things. Maybe this situation right now is helping us to be more compassionate, more humble, more to take care of our mother nature, protect the nature. We have to look at this in a different way. And we are safe, dear friends. If we think that we are living in an unsafe universe, we're going to create such realities. Know that Mother Earth is going to be safe if we really take responsibility, personal and collective responsibility. We're really going to make a big change. And change your thoughts, change your beliefs. Sunny thoughts create sunny reality. Sick thoughts create sick reality. Right now, I'm not promoting positive thinking because many positive thinkers, they have a lot of stress. They try to ignore the current reality. Of course, fear comes to us. We'll be afraid. Embrace the fear. It's natural as humans when we're living in this personality system. But it's something that our soul, consciousness teaches us is you can with that, we can always transcend the fear. Fear will make us actually much stronger, much more stronger than before. And also, the fear makes us take enough precautions right now. We don't need to be gripped with the fear. And only thing is, change your beliefs. Beliefs about this catastrophe which is going to end the lives of millions, and we don't need to believe such things. Know that we are going to be aligned with the life force. And from India, we have all the Vedas, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, and Brahma Sutras, and all the rishis, ancient masters given the eternal truths, eternal wisdom. We bow down to the truth. Our India is the spiritual capital. The whole world is now looking for spiritual answers, the wisdom that Bharat Desh is going to offer to the whole world. We change our vibrations right now. We change our way of looking at things. We thank the virus and say, now we are ready to learn, and we say goodbye to you, dear virus. It's a wake-up call for us. We say goodbye to the virus, coronavirus, and we embrace our lessons. We embrace all the changes that's going to happen in the coming days. After 21 days, we don't know. We are living in such uncertain times. This lockdown or isolation may continue for a few more months. Who knows? If it also still happens, we need to embrace that change. And also, one more thing is we need to practice minimalism. I just watched the documentary, Minimalism. That means we lived so far in shopping and buying so many things, 10 clothes, 10 shoes, and so many things. Now, just 3 days back, there's a water shortage in my home. There's no water because it's summer approaching, and the water is not there. You have to order a water tank. But now water tank is also not possible. The gas cylinder is empty. How to cook food? Now I told my family members, we live with the minimal things. Don't waste water. Why wasting water? And water is very important for commodity right now. Why waste the food? Minimal. With minimal things we can live, friends. Remember, Himalayas, the headquarters of spirituality, the many saints, rishis, who live with bare minimum things. Not even the sandals, slippers, shoes. No, bare minimum clothes. They live in a cave with the bare minimum food, one day a meal. We don't need to be scared that, I don't have groceries right now. If we take more of cosmic energy by practice of meditation, we don't feel more hunger. Right now, sitting idle at home, our body requires less food, right? Less food. Because we can't metabolize all the food that we take. We accumulate that food. The lipids, fats get accumulated in the body. With whatever that hunger that you have, according to that only we need to eat. Middle path approach. Minimalism is really an important concept right now to follow on the planet Earth, so that we can even this extends for a year, 2 years. We need to be, by the time our spiritually upgraded and emotionally upgraded, and our heart opens, and we find our immune system is able to naturally combat this coronavirus. Because not only we have outer pharmacy, there's an inner pharmacy. Exactly, our body knows the chemicals that are required to combat this coronavirus. It may take little time. We develop the resistance, the immune system, antibodies and immunoglobulins. Only thing is, we really take care of these factors like thoughts, beliefs, our emotions, our perceptions, and we practice inner silence, outer silence. We practice a lot of, mindfulness. Be mindful of everything that's happening in you right now. Take care of yourself. And dear friends, I'm also right now can have an interaction with you. If you have some questions, I'm just looking at if anybody has asked a question. I'm going to look at that. Yeah, somebody said it's Rahu entering Nakshatra. Adra is the reason. Time Ketu in Mula Nakshatra. Places and countries which experimented with 5G has got affected more. Yeah, probably. So that's a kind of information that's given by friend Shastru, actor. Shatru, actor. Okay. We need such a beautiful world. We need conscious community. Prakriti Jain. Any questions, friends? And we can interact, or you want to add something to it? And yeah, that's really good. Shatru, actor. Sir, please give me the name of the Korean movie about life after death. Okay, it's not a movie, it's a serial. First time I watched a serial. I don't watch in Indian serials, but this serial is called Hi, Goodbye Mama. I think the name of it's in Netflix. So Hi, Bye Mama. I think Hi, Bye Mama. A young daughter after getting married, and she dies just by delivering a baby. It's an accident, and she delivered a baby, and she vacates the body. So I think that's the theme, and you can watch that movie, Korean serial. Yeah. Okay, thanks for compliments. Everything is related to spiritual reality. It's true, and you're explaining it so nicely. Thanks, sir. Karuna more. Thank you, my dear friend. I think I have our Sangha members watching, I think from QLU, Quantum Life University campus. All our friends, Harika, Nitin, Pawan, and there are many more. I think Smita Wankade. That's good. So friends, I think this is the time now. We don't need to physically meet, but technology is really helping us. We thank the technology. This is a really very good way of using the technology beautifully. We can update ourselves, and we can also learn from each other. So from different perspectives, we keep learning. Because from past life regression perspective, from the perspective of family constellation, another beautiful modality, systemic family constellation, systemic perspective. If we consider that our whole world is a family, we are closely connected. So what's the systemic perspective? We can learn all that. What can we do to bring a shift collectively? Because it's now collective, no more one country or one place or just individual. So coronavirus is bringing us the collective consciousness also right now. We are collective. So with some words from Upanishads, we can all say, and also meditation. Let's practice meditation for 5 minutes. I'm going to introduce you to one meditation which can remove all the fear and also open our hearts and be compassionate. So this meditation practice can be done by anyone. It's so simple. You can be with eyes closed or eyes open, does not matter. You can even close your eyes softly, like half open, half closed. Very softly, your eyelids can be half open, half closed. And be mindful of your breathing right now. Be mindful of your body. Whenever you're sitting down or lying down, does not matter. Just be very mindful. Pay attention to your body. Pay attention to your normal, natural breathing, your inhalation and your exhalation. And this meditation that we're going to now practice is inspired from Atisha, one Buddhist teacher who is a Tibetan master, Atisha. His name is Atisha. He really awakened the compassion in humanity through this meditation practice that he has given many centuries back. He said when people visualize that when you're inhaling, they're inhaling all the positivity and exhaling all the negativity is released. But this master said, your heart is the alchemy center. We have big hearts. There's so much compassion in our heart that's there. Right now, when you're inhaling, inhale all that fears and all that whatever is going on, uncertainty and the deaths, many lives lost and a lot of grief, people who lost the loved ones, they're grieving, sad and all that. We breathe all that into us, into heart, and while exhaling, we send out the light. A beautiful intention. Sarve jana sukhino bhavantu. May the world be safe. May the world experience well-beingness and health. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu is the intention that we release through our out-breath. Breathing in, we breathe in all that coronavirus, fears, all that, suffering that is there right now collectively in all the countries. Italy right now requires a lot of help, and Spain and France and I think in the Middle East, Iran and India, Bangladesh need a lot of help. And almost all countries need. We take all that with breathing in, we take all the suffering and all the fear energy into our heart, Heart is the alchemy center. Know that consciously. We are not individual beings anymore. Lord Sri Krishna told in Bhagavad Gita, Mamatma Sarva Bhutatma. The Atma which is residing in you, the soul residing in this body, is not different from the soul, collective soul. Mamatma Sarva Bhutatma. We are collective beings. Right now, in the heart, we process. And when we are exhaling, we send out this beautiful, with all the compassion, we generate this beautiful, positive, vibrant energy, and we radiate it out into all the countries. We inhale all the darkness, hold it in your chest, in your heart, and transform. That's an alchemy center. And then when you're exhaling, exhale all the light out. Send the light, send the compassion, send these beautiful vibrations, positive intentions. We all know that from studies done by Masaru Emoto, that how our thoughts, intentions affect water particles, the water molecules. So our body consists of 80% water. So we can collectively, intending this way, we can really spread the such spiritual vibrations around. Again, take a nice deep inhalation. Inhale all the negativity right now that's going on the planet Earth. And we exhale all the sacred divine vibrations, positivity. We know that we are much more than the bodies, we're much more than this positive, negative. We are souls. Life did not begin with birth. Life is not going to end with the death. We are immortal, forever, eternal beings. We always remember that. And as you inhale all that unrest and all that anxiety people have, all kinds of fears. Fear about finances, fear about work, fear about losing the job, fear about not getting the food, fear about being unsafe, and fear about death, biggest fear. So all that we inhale and we breathe out this strength, courage, this beautiful vibrational energy into the world. And dear friends, if you are okay, comfortable with this practice, you can do it again. Every day can be practiced. This practice is really beautiful because it also makes you compassionate. It makes you be any more gripped with the fear, because we transcend the fear. We don't need to be panicked anymore. We have enough of tools of awareness, enough of wisdom of the ancient rishis, masters from India. We can also take all that. And take care, my dear friends. I wish you great health, to you, to your families, to community, to the world, and see you the next time whenever the opportunity arises. Thank you so much. I say goodbye right now. See you later.